Top of the morning to you, brothers and sisters. I have to say, it feels so good to be alive. But seriously, deep breath in against the lungs and release. So I made a video that failed to upload, right? So I'm not half-assing it. I just want to let you know what's going on. So, family. Socialism and social credit scores. Right now, we have social credit scores going on. Now, how do I mean we have social credit scores? So, for example, Airbnb, prime example of what's going on. Social credit scores. They have this in China, and so I'm on the Space Coast of Florida, and I notice that these little red dots are like, they're square, like, right? And I noticed because I seen the one that they have in China, and they were tracking my every movement. So I was a little concerned about it, to say the least. So I'm sitting there wondering, okay, so if this is what they're capable of, why are they doing it? And for what reason? Well, and then I thought about Airbnb, because I have used Airbnb a lot. A lot, spelled 2 words. And it made me think, wow, we are now on a social credit score. And there's a show called Black Mirror that actually speaks of this. And in the show, it brings up the point of, if we go into the social credit score, so anyways, in the show, she wants to get to this wedding, and she needs to get like more points to be noticed or whatever. I don't know, it's a crazy show, but I noticed that, you know, you give me 5 stars, I give you 5 stars on Airbnb type shit. I've had bad experiences on Airbnb, but I refuse to give out these scores. Like, I don't see, why would I do that? Like, these are people, and people don't need a social credit. We have Social Security, which makes you inevitably, well, to be honest with you, property of the government. That's essentially what you are, what we are. You know your social. What does it start with? Nunya. It doesn't matter anyways. I can say my social right now, ain't nothing gonna happen that hasn't already happened, that will happen, that hasn't happened, because it's that bad. So now back to social credit. If we're going into a socialistic society, that means government is in complete control. So marriage, let's talk about marriage. You go get your marriage license, and what happens? Everything is split 50-50 if you don't have a prenup. But what's the point in marriage? Now, I'm actually having second thoughts. I thought marriage was a great tradition. But now I'm having second thoughts, because I spoke to a bright man this morning, very bright individual. And he had a child, and I was like, are you married? And he said, no, because then that brings in the government. And it makes perfect sense now. So it's all social. If you think about it, I mean, we're family, we're social beings, but when you bring in government, and then you bring in social scores that coming in through Airbnb, and you bring it through other sources, you gotta admit, that's kind of that's scary, to say the least. That is freaking scary. Because with all these social and credit scores they're essentially useless, because you think you know who the person is, but they had one bad I'm speaking for myself. I had one bad experience with the Airbnb person, because he wants to be a girl. He wants to be a girl, and he wanted to cook for me every morning. Well, I like my space from people, right? Like my space? No, my space from people. So if you want to get into social credit, watch out, because this is what the agenda that the Democrats are pushing. A lot of Democrats are probably totally opposed to it. But this, my family, is what they're really pressing for. This social credit system. Is it working in China? You can't even walk across the street in China. You can't even walk across the street in China without being, having somebody watching you and then taking over your social credit score. It's all crazy. With that said, brothers and sisters, may peace be with you. Always with you. Hang loose. Agreed. Love thy neighbor, because you never know, that neighbor just might really be helpful one day. So peace with you, also with you, love out.